everyone, I'm Elaine Narh. I'm a third year mechanical engineering student at Ashesi University, and I'm the team lead for Escape Ghana.
And I am Keith Goli, also a third year engineering student, and I am the design lead for Escape Ghana.
So I'll brief you on the Escape Ghana concept, what ushered me into the project, and the problem using design thinking frameworks. Okay, so Escape Ghana seeks to diversify recreation in Ghana with an underlying mission for mental health awareness. So what ushered me into Escape Ghana was my personal frustration with the lack of diversity in recreation in Accra. So whenever my friends and I wanted to go out, the only available options were restaurants or other companies within the food and beverage industry, and we felt as though this was monotonous, and other people agreed with this sentiment. Additionally, we recognize the significance of mental health and recreation, and this delved me into the problem, defining the problem, which was lack of diversity in recreation and mental health in Ghana. Okay, so we use mind maps to expand the problem, starting from the problem of lack of diversity in recreation. One factor would be socioeconomic, right? So people have limited disposable income, and this limits their ability to explore different recreational activities, and they feel as though the only thing that can fit within their budgets would be restaurants or other food and beverage companies. Additionally, this has tied into the culture of Ghanaians. So it has become a norm to seek out restaurants when going out or when seeking for stress relief or recreation. And this is very limiting. There is inadequate infrastructure and facilities, and this limits the availability of a diverse range of recreational activities. Finally, there's the lack of exposure. So people may not be aware of the existence of some activities such as bliss or ATV biking, and this may be as a result of inadequate marketing strategies on the side of the recreational centers. And yeah, so this sums up the problem of lack of diversity in recreation. Another mind map expanded on the problem of mental health in Ghana. So the first thing was the stigma. So there's an associated stigma which is fueled by spirituality and toxic mindsets. So some of these stereotypes would be sleeping your mental illness away, or sleeping your depression away, or ignoring whatever is bothering you, or that these things are just spiritual, right? Another thing is the lack of awareness. So due to insufficient education within mental health, people may not be aware of mental health resources, and poor infrastructure and resources ties into the inadequate education within the problem space. And yeah, this ties into also the stigma that exists in Ghana. And yeah, stigma and cultural beliefs go hand in hand because of associated spirituality or other beliefs that deter people from actually recognizing that mental health is an issue that they should be educated on. And then socioeconomic factors as well. So people have limited disposable income and may not be able to afford mental health resources or seek professional help.
Walking you through our design thinking process, Elaine has highlighted how we empathize and define the process, and how we had started to ideate and prototype an idea or our concept, which was a raging concept. However, we've had to pivot due to critical feedback from key stakeholders like the school as an institution, who had some concerns regarding the previous ideas that we had pitched. As such, we've had to revisit the definition stage of the design process, and we are currently in the process of undertaking research with our key stakeholders being youth, which we've categorized as between 18 to about 30, 35 years old. And this consists primarily of working students in the universities, as well as people working in the corporate world. Additionally, we've also decided to conduct research at the existing recreational centers as to what brings people there, what causes them to return, and what experiences they could improve or add to their experience, which would overall improve the recreational space. So as part of our research process, we decided to conduct in-depth interviews as well as surveys at the various recreational centers, corporate institutions, and amongst university students in various campuses across Accra. So we decided, using the lean research framework, we had to sit down and come up with questions which were right-sized, respectful, which were rigorous and would get us the information that we seek and relevant to our venture. Additionally, we've decided to engage mental health professionals. We are in constant communication with them as to how we could incorporate some mental health practices into our recreational center design, and they've also helped lead us to another stakeholder which we did not previously recognize, which are religious leaders in our community. So in our constant communication with mental health professionals, we are trying to find new ways to destigmatize and improve their recreational experience, such that it also offers mental health services or benefits to our patrons.
Okay, so working on this project has been very shaping, as it has pushed me out of my comfort zone. I've had to improve my communication skills, take initiative by reaching out to institutions I'm not familiar with, talking to mental professionals, talking to HR representatives of companies to about our projects and getting information relevant to our solution. I think I also really appreciate the iterative process of the design thinking framework, as if we hadn't gone back to our problem definition and research stage, I wouldn't have gotten some insights that I have now. I wouldn't have understood our users as well as I do now. I wouldn't have explored the problem in a different way, and I think that has really been uplifting for me. How about you?
So for me personally, it's been an eye-opening experience. It's been a lot more work than I anticipated. However, I've come to enjoy it, and I've come to really appreciate the insights from the design thinking process. As stated earlier, we've had to constantly review, and we've had to really solidify aspects of the concepts that we are working on, and I feel like that has been very, very helpful or beneficial to me, as it has shown me the different things that go into planning and executing a project. So I feel like that's been very good. And I'd like to thank the Design Lab for giving us this opportunity to expand on our ideal solution.